All right.
Yeah, it is about just having fun.
Can
Okay,
you
hey,
hear me okay?
good morning, everybody. We're welcome to another edition of the Practice Grad to Success Show. Having a hard time talking here, but anyways, I'm really excited today for some reason because there's a person I respect a real lot. I'm really grateful that I finally had a chance to get to know her, to talk to meet her, and you guys are going to meet her as well today. But I'm so grateful to finally get a chance to meet my co-host, Edie Galley, today. I've known her for probably maybe a couple of years or a year and a half or whatever, but I've actually made her my gratitude person last year on day 57. And then I was looking back through all my videos from last year, and I mentioned her a bunch of times. We never spoke, but hardly ever really chatted, but she just always doing these positive things, all these little, she's always posting really cool stuff. So it's like some things that I really wanted to see. But she called herself a life transformation strategist. And some people call it a life coach or whatever, but she likes to work with individuals who are ready to step into their authentic greatness and achieve the results that they truly want in life. And she's a big believer in gratitude. And I'm not going to keep going on and on and on. I'm going to let her talk about it. So, Edie, thank you so much. I'm really grateful that you finally had a chance to come here today. So thank you so much for being here today.
It's my pleasure, Bob. It's an honor. I really appreciate that you asked me to join you. I'm excited to actually talk with you too.
And it's really funny because I was talking to my good friend the other day, Debbie Garcia. We speak a real lot, and we were talking about you, and you didn't even know this was going on. And then she shared something. She shared something on through a message. She said, "You got to watch this. You got to check this out." It's this lady. She's on a Periscope, and she took it from your wall. And it's a lady called Judy Martini. Now, Judy is going to be on her show tomorrow. It's just funny how all those sort of things work. Then Judy connected with Debbie, and we all started talking and things. So now Judy's going to be here tomorrow. It's going to be a really, really fun show. But I guess you guys have been friends for a long time. Are you and Judy?
Oh, absolutely. We've been friends. We met through Facebook as well. And we've been friends. We have some shared friends that we know, that we've met in real life. We haven't actually had the chance to meet in real life, and I hope to someday, but she is absolutely phenomenal, very positive, overcome some amazing things and just had some tremendous success and dealt with things. And I love her outlook. She's very uplifting.
That's what's so cool. I love talking to people like our guest yesterday had Robert House Jr.
He was great. He was the information that he shared and his outlook and his he was an excellent guest.
Amazing.
I gained a lot from that interview.
I did too. That was probably one of my best ones ever because he shared the power of negativity, of how we need to overcome that. And it's so true because we're getting bombarded all the time by all these negative things. Bam, our whole life we grew up with it. And then we get it all day long on Facebook, the news and all. That's why I shut most of those things out. I like to spend my time with people like you, Judy, and all the cool people that we have over on the sideline. It's just so important to hang around with those kind of people. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
With that? Now, Edie, I know you've overcome some major challenges. That's what I like to talk about on this show. That's what Robert spoke about yesterday too. Tell us about something that you've overcome and how has gratitude brought you to a place kind of like where you are right now?
You know what? That's an excellent question because I actually love challenges. I think I don't look for challenges, but I do love them. And one of the reasons why is because I believe challenges are opportunities. They really are. They're just like goals to me. There's something that allows us to grow. They give us an opportunity to grow. And you asked me if I've ever overcome any, and I think we all have challenges. We've all overcome some. And, sometimes when I work with people, they'll think that they're going to get to a point where there are no challenges. Like when I make a certain amount of money or when I marry this amazing person or, they're going to get to the point and there will be no more challenges. And there is no point where there's never a challenge, no matter how much, who you marry or who you're in a relationship with or what kind of job or money. There's always challenges. And, when I look back over my life, I have, had several what would be considered larger challenges that could absolutely hold you back. I mean, if I go back to my early life, I experienced sexual abuse as a child. I had alcoholism in my family, and and I've also at one point in time, I was over $100,000 in unsecured debt. alone, let alone secured debt. And if you added that to it, it was almost $1 million. So, you know, all those are big challenges, but the one to me that really stands out and the one that was the hardest for me to actually overcome is depression. And when I say depression, it was because I was at a place in my life when my life looked fantastic from the outside, you know, beautiful big house, cars, jobs, kids, you know, relationship, everything looked amazing from the outside, but on the inside, I was incredibly unhappy. I'd base my definition of success on what I should have and what everyone else had and what it was supposed to be. And it wasn't success for me. It wasn't. And I became very depressed as a result of it. And it showed in my outside life. The question I kept asking myself is, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why? I have everything. And even people in my life would ask me the same thing. What's wrong with you? In my family, they'd say, what's wrong with you? My gosh, you have everything. And the thing is, you ask that question enough and guess what? You're going to have things wrong with you. And I had high blood pressure. I was overweight. I had a high cholesterol, just all kinds of physical, tremendous migraines, just all kinds of physical things manifested as well. So that really was the biggest one for me, that I was able to overcome.
So you had everything that looked pretty good on the surface, yeah, but yet you weren't happy on the inside.
No.
Now, were you asking these questions, probably disempowering questions, weren't you? Like, why are these things happening?
Yes. What's wrong with me? Why can't I be happy? What do I need to fix in me? It was always in me. It was always my question. It was always my fault, essentially. And I think a lot of times when we have challenges, and it doesn't really matter what the challenge is, even if you have a dysfunctional family, you think something's wrong with you, that you ended up with this dysfunctional family. And it's really, for me, that wasn't the answer. Like, it was my responsibility to change. And I was the one that needed to change, but there wasn't really anything. That was the disempowering way of asking a question. And that's so often what we do is ask disempowering questions.
Exactly. So how did you come to the realization?
Well, you know what, the first piece that, and this is always, this has been true my entire life. The first piece to me, and I think this is critical for anybody that wants to accomplish anything or change anything in their life, is I was blessed enough to have some mentors in my life, and that just shined the light in a different way. And I grasped on that. So that was the first piece. And then the second piece, I had to sit down and be honest with myself. And one of the very first things I did, and I talk about this a lot, is I made a happy list. What does make me happy? I've been happy in my life. So what pieces do make me happy? And then started to build on that. But the biggest, both those pieces were important, but I can't say enough about having mentors in your life and having people like yourself, friends that are uplifting, friends that see the possibilities, and mentors that see the possibilities and can show those things to you.
Well, like our guest, like our co-host yesterday, Robert Hollis said,
oh yeah,
if you're like the average of your 5 friends, you need to have different friends, because
that's absolutely true. That's 100% true. And if you look around and you're not accomplishing the results, or you're not feeling the way, and a lot of times we'll have friends that are a little less than us, because that makes us feel better because we're a little better. And it's like, no, you need to make sure those 5 close friends are really the level that you want to be.
Right. I mean, you don't want to just like tell people you don't like them anymore. Something like that. It's just that. But if you're hanging around with people who are, smoking dope, or just like hanging out, just doing, you're gonna probably be kind of like those people.
Yeah, he mentioned that yesterday, right? And he ended up in jail because of it, and yet totally turned his life around. And yes, absolutely right. Like it's definitely a source of in your life of what will indicate how far you can go, or what you can do, or how you'll handle things, or what you think's okay.
Exactly. It's so important. And again, like you said, the questions too. Like I had a guest that, I don't know if you're familiar with Noah St. John.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because he always his thing is affirmations, asking empowering questions, and Tony Robbins always talks about that too. Asking why are things going so good? Why is this the best gratitude show ever? And so
yes.
Those kind of then your mind's going to give you those kind of answers back. But if I say, why does this show suck? Why doesn't anybody come here? Because you're an idiot, and you're going to get those kind of answers.
Yeah, absolutely, and then we'll validate them, right?
But it's so much fun. So now, you are what is the definition? You said you are a life a strategist, transformation strategist. What is that? What is
When you said life coach, it is very much just like a life coach. And I think there's different levels and different ways of going about it. The reason that I call it a life strategist is because I think although there's keys that are successful keys that are across the board pretty much the same, each individual situation is different, and the strategies that are going to take you to the next level aren't the same maybe than the strategies that are going to take me to the next level. So when I work in depth with a client, we really look at not only where they're at, but where they want to go and the best strategies to get them there, and then how to implement those the best for them. Because it's just like we learn different, different things speak to different people, and some people love audio, some people love video. It's the same thing. So we specifically work on strategies that work for them.
Now, let me ask you something. How about when you coming from your, like a feeling from your heart, as opposed to trying to think of things? Because sometimes we get in our head too much. How important is that for you, like coming in from your inner self, from your heart, from the place?
It's 100%, and it's one of the reasons when you and I were chatting back and forth about the information we wanted to share and what we wanted to talk about, and I one of the things I said to you is really ask anything. I'm open ended because I really think we're guided. We have an intuitive guide that in our heart, and we know what's best. And one of the the hardest times in life is when you go against that, when you say, well, I know I want this inside, but this is what I should have, and you go against that. So I'm 100%. It's always got to come from the heart. And even if even if the results when it comes from the heart don't look exactly like what you wanted, I always know they're the right thing at that point in time.
We will be directed towards that at some point, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we used to talk about that. We used to say you'll get a little nudge, and then if you don't pay attention to that, you'll get a little bigger nudge, and if you don't pay attention to that, you'll get a really big one. You'll totally be knocked down, and then you pay attention. So yeah, we're directed to it some ways in our life.
And now I think there's something bigger than us, a source, whether you call it God, whether you call it the universe, or what's your take on something that's more powerful than us? What's your take on that?
Well, I think that we're just as miraculous. We go out, we see babies, or we see dolphins, or we see those things, and we think of the miracle that they are and the beauty that they are. But we as human beings are the same. We're all created from the same source, and we all are a part of that larger power. And so I absolutely believe it's there, and I think it's there to help us express our goodness and the goodness in life.
And is that love? Is it based on pure love?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I'll share a little thing with you. When I first started coaching, because I did business consulting for years before I started doing actual life coaching. And when I first started coaching, I had these whole checklists, and it's got to be this, and you have to do this, and it's step. And it was not from the heart. It was really, and it was good stuff. There was nothing wrong with it. It could be successful, but it really, because it wasn't from the heart, because it wasn't filled with love, it really couldn't connect with people and touch them in the way that you can when you come from the heart. And there was a point in time that I realized that. And once I let the lists go, and I certainly didn't let learning or growing or anything, those things go, but I let the checklist go, and there has to be this step. Things just absolutely flourished. It made a huge difference once I came completely from the heart. But that's scary to do. And I know, I work with people that they want to do it, and it's very scary to do. But it's one of the most amazing things I think we can do in life.
I know. I mean, I feel what you're saying right now. I'm feeling it because it's so true. It's like, okay, give me the tips, give me the strategy, give me a bump up ABC. How do I do this? And it's like, okay, well, sometimes people, they just don't do that because they don't feel it. It's got to come from within you. You gotta know this. You have to feel it instead of thinking it, because we think things, we're gonna think ourselves out of it.
Right. And it's like affirmations. A lot of people will tell you affirmations don't work. And they're right. A lot of times affirmations don't work because affirmations don't do the work. We do the work. And when you find affirmations that you can feel, that just jazz you up, those are the affirmations that work. But if you're just saying affirmations, well, again, these are the ones I'm supposed to say. These are the good ones. These are the list I got from wherever, and I don't feel it, and I'm just saying it, then it's absolutely won't work. But anytime it comes from the heart and reaches in and touches your heart, it'll absolutely work.
I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. Over and over. You know, I mean, come on, you're not feeling. But if you think, what is all this abundance going to allow me to give back? What can I do with it? And then you get to come from a different place, and you start when you feel yourself there in that place. That's where I think things make the change. And is that sort of things that you do during your coaching when you talk to people?
Yes. And you have to identify for each person what's going to be the key for them. And I can't do that unless I'm using my heart. I can't connect with their heart. It's just, it doesn't happen. You know, we can give affirmations that should work, or we can give techniques or tips that should work, but there isn't a one size fits all in that. It's individualized. And I think there's nothing like connecting with another heart and then growing together.
Exactly. Now, do you do personal coaching, or do you do like group coaching? What do you do?
I actually do both. I do. I have some small groups, and one of the advantages of that is you get the energy from the people that you're working with. And then I do individualized when someone has something, just has something burning that they want to change in their life, and they know that they can up level it, and they know they can do it, and they're ready to do it.
Right. Now, when you first meet somebody, is there like how do you connect with them when you like somebody says, okay, I like this girl, I think it's pretty cool, I want to connect with her, I want to see go through your process. How do you do what's your first step that you do with people?
Well, I think the first step always for me is, first of all, to get to know each other, because, when I work with people, they really have to decide that I'm the person that is going to be able to help them. They have to know that, and they have to believe that. And I also have to get a sense for the person and know that I can make a difference for them, and believe that I can, because, as much as I talk about mentors and coaches, and I think there's nothing better you can do for yourself than have one. I mean, if you look at all the greats that do anything, that accomplish anything, they always have coaches and mentors both, and they talk about them. So as much as I talk about that, not every, I'm not right for everybody. I'm really not. And when someone chooses me and I choose to work with them, we both have to know it's right. So the initial thing is really getting to know each other. Really, what's important to you? How does it work? And where are you going? So really touching, connecting and making sure that we have that connection and that we can take it somewhere.
Exactly. Like you said, all the greats have coaches. Look at Tiger Woods or any basketball player. They all have coaches. You say, well, how this person who knows more about golf than Tiger Woods? Yet, when somebody's from the outside looking in, they can pick things that we can't see.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the piece that makes a difference. Sometimes we think, well, it's my life, I know it. And that's one mistake that people will make. I have to do it all by myself. And it's like, it's so much more powerful. And I know you know this. I've seen you do videos with Len and the things that you guys have accomplished. And it's just, you never are doing it all by yourself. If it's actually a disadvantage if you think it's stronger to do it all by yourself. It's actually weaker to try and do it all by yourself, because you have so many resources and connecting with them and utilizing them and allowing them to grow as a result of it is more empowering than ever trying to do it all by yourself.
Right. Now, what are some of the blocks that they kind of hold people back that you run up without mentioning any names or anything like that? What are some of the things that hold people back?
The biggest thing that I have found that holds people back, and I've worked with both men and women, and obviously I've held myself back many times. We've all done it. And really the biggest thing is limiting beliefs. And the interesting thing about limiting beliefs is you think it would be easy. Well, what do I believe? Well, I believe I'm worthy of making $1 million. But deep down, you have another belief that maybe like money is hard to make. It's, you got to work hard for your money. Well, if you got to work hard for your money, and that's a belief that's down and deep inside of you, money doesn't come easy. That's another good one. So then if you're making money, and it's coming easy, because a lot of times when you're using your gifts, it really is easy. But it doesn't jive. So you go, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I can't do this. And you'll sabotage it. So it's limiting beliefs that show up in some type of self-sabotage.
So how do you put it all together then? If it's like that, maybe, okay, I'm now making money, but the relationship isn't there, or my health isn't there. How do you tie all that stuff in together? It's individualized in each situation, but the interesting thing is once you start, if you've had success in any area of your life,
and all of us have had success in some area of our life. If you've had success in any area, you can have it in every area. But it's because underlying it's the same techniques, because we always have to get over that I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, it's for them, it's not for me. We have that, and so much of that is ingrained in us that we have to get through that. And so attaching it to the success that you've had in other areas of your life and looking at the keys that work for you specifically is really what it takes to connect the two and make them all go. And also look at self-sabotaging behavior and what's really causing it, what's really making you self-sabotage. Because a lot of times, and I this has happened to me, where I had some self-sabotaging behavior that was holding me back that I actually thought was me, again, being strong, being, and it wasn't. It was me creating situations where I looked strong, but they were really self-sabotaging.
Interesting. Yeah. So now, how the self-discipline does that work?
How discipline?
Like for a long term. Because anybody can do something for a short period of time.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm not a fan. I believe words have power. I 100% believe words have power. And I don't think that the power behind discipline is always a warm and fuzzy and a good feeling that makes you go, yeah, I'm going to go. So I don't think, I think it's important because the compound effect is huge. You can do little things consistently and have huge results, better results than just one quick leap. So I think it's very important. I like to look at consistency rather than discipline. I look about where do I want to implement consistency? And the other thing with that is if I always know I'm consistent, if I have an off day, it's okay because I'm consistent and I'm going to go back to it tomorrow. But discipline just has so many kind of, I think that's tough for people. I think, I don't want to be disciplined. I really don't. So, but I do want to be consistent and I do want to get amazing results and I do want to have a great time. So I think it's how you look at it, really.
As long as you're not consistently having bad days.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, right. But that's a question. If it's consistently bad days, what do I need to change? Right.
And some people get stuck there, but that's probably where a good mentor, a good coach would come in, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you're stuck anywhere, if it's a bad day or lack of results, if you're stuck anywhere, I would immediately start looking for somebody. And if I couldn't afford a coach, I've borrowed money before to pay for coaching and classes, and it's always been worth it. But if you're stuck anywhere, get help. Get somebody, ask somebody, anybody. Look for people who are accomplishing what you want to accomplish or who have been through what you want. And mentors, people love to help. They really do. They like to serve and to help. So don't take it away from them by not asking. You're actually doing them a favor by asking, and you're doing yourself a favor and can increase your results incredibly and get unstuck. That stuck is never a place to stay. It's a place maybe to stop for a second and realize it and know you need to change, but it's not a place to stay.
Doesn't even sound good. Stuck.
Yeah. But then if you think I'm stuck, so I got to be disciplined to get out of it. I don't know about you, but I don't get real excited about that.
I talk to some people sometime, and it's like those big trucks have a big drill on the back of them. They drill down for they put big pylons in, or it's like this. Like you're drilling and you're going down, and your foot's on the gas is going, and it's and you're stuck. You're in that spot. And I said the best thing to do is just take your foot off the gas, turn off the key, and get out of the truck. Get out of that truck, and just stop doing that. Or like Abraham would say, if you're on top of a hill and you put your car in neutral and then you push it, it's going to start going downhill. But you could stop it right there. Yeah. Before it gets momentum, before the momentum builds. You don't want to be at the bottom of the hill when that car is coming at you, but you can stand right in front of it and stop it at that point. But don't let the momentum build of bad things.
Right. And we can do that in a good way or a bad way, either way. So since we have a choice of, we can increase the momentum on the good side or the negative side. I always like to look for increasing the momentum on the good side. And you're right. When you do feel stuck like that, get out of the truck. Just get out. And even if it's just get out and take a walk, get out.
Stop. Just stop. Breathe. Right. Take a nice big breath. Nice big. Now, do you meditate at all?
I do. I absolutely do. I do in the morning and I do in the evening. And I would definitely rank that up there with one of the huge keys that has changed my life. It's really, I share that with people and they'll be like, well, I tried that and it doesn't, I didn't. And it's, you have to find a type of meditation that works for you. But even if it's for 5 minutes or whatever little time, once you get started, the power is just it just opens up so many things. It really does. So yeah, I absolutely do.
But just get you away from that space, huh? Like where you were stuck at that place.
I like that when you say that, because it opens up the flow. So you're in the truck and that drill is stuck. Give that drill a little rest. Let it quiet down. Maybe that's what it needs. And when you meditate, you just open you give yourself that break, that rest, but you also free your mind. And so many amazing things will come as a result of it, instead of that constant questioning that we typically do in our mind.
We open up and we listen to God, universe, or whatever that comes.
Whatever it is, right?
Yeah. As long as we're not listening to the little monkey mind that says, I can't do things, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, I'm too fat, I'm too ugly,
yes.
I'm too old, I'm too whatever. As long as we don't listen to that mind. How does breathe when you meditate? Do you get into like a breathing thing? How do you do yours?
I do different ones because I feel like first I do different ones for different reasons, but it comes down to the settling, and I don't always like to sit. Sometimes I'll lay, whatever feels comfortable that day. And some I utilize music, a soft music. Some are totally silent, but the breathing is first for me, to start with some very deep breathing, to kind of breathe in something fresh and breathe out what's been hanging out there. So I start with, no matter whether I'm using music or listening to, there's some great ones on YouTube that you can listen to, especially look up meditation on whatever area you're having an issue in and start with that. It's not, and I grew up thinking it was kind of a strange thing, or I was told it's kind of, and it's not. It's the most freeing thing. But the breathing I think is crucial in any type of meditation, is starting with that, just opening yourself up, opening your heart up, opening your mind up, opening all of it up.
And I have a love affair with YouTube. I swear, there's so much awesome stuff there now, and it's all free. And it used to be like only 10 minutes. Now you can hours and hours of whatever you want is there for you.
Yeah, we've never had an availability of more resources than we have today, and we are so blessed, and it's so phenomenal. It really is.
It's funny. I was finishing. I went for my run this morning, and on the way back, I was thinking, myself, a question: do we have too much stuff now? Is there too much information coming to us now? Even there's so many things that oh my God, I wish we had this years ago. I wish we had all this stuff, but now is there something almost too much sometimes?
Well, I think it's our responsibility to be selective. I think we can be inundated if we keep looking and looking and looking, but I think the key is to really be selective about where you're at. And I think that's true with anything, is to be very, very choosy, set boundaries, and be selective, because it is all out there. And what you didn't need today, you may need tomorrow. So it's nice that it's out there. But yeah, I wouldn't. And I like what your guest said yesterday about, turn the TV off. That's not where it's at.
No, I don't even. I haven't been doing that for years. But yeah, absolutely. Now, you think everybody has a purpose? Everybody has a gift to share with the world?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I think everybody does. We don't, and for a long time, I didn't know what mine was. I did, and I was using it, but I didn't know, because it wasn't, a lot of times maybe it's different than you think it should be, or like somebody that's amazing at music. That's easier to find than other things are. So, but I think absolutely everybody does. Absolutely everybody.
And so a lot of people I know, they use the word stuck again, but they're just so into making the money, because they have to make money to pay bills, just to get by.
Yeah.
How do you address that with people? It's, listen, they're not in their purpose, but they have a purpose. How do you help them to get the transition to that, to where they can do what they want to do and still be able to afford to do it?
Yes. It's a very interesting balance. For me, I up and quit my job. I really had a very good corporate job, and I up and quit it. I don't necessarily suggest that for everybody, but I think that if it's a balance, but a lot of it goes back to our beliefs about money and working on that. So if we can do that while we're also and move away from, because we put so much emphasis on money, we really do, and it to the detriment of ourselves. People will go to work despite the fact that they're sick. They'll do jobs that they can't stand despite the fact that they know what their gift is. So it's really a balance, and looking for the balance that gets them very comfortable with the amount of money that they have while expressing their gifts, and gives them then the opportunity to really just blow it out of the water with both.
Right. Now, Edie, is there anybody that you can think of that's like really was inspirational to you in your life?
I have to go back to Tony Robbins, and the reason why is there's a ton. I have a lot that are personally just locally and that I've known through my life, but overall, I would have and just some amazing ones at different times. Wayne Dyer but people I've worked with, and a teacher that I had in school. But the reason I say Tony Robbins is because from the first time that I've heard him until now, and I'm getting ready next month to go see him live. I know that's one of your goals. But is really, he's always made a difference no matter where I'm at. His information and what he shares has always uplifted me and given me a key that I can take further. So I would absolutely say Tony Robbins.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys. And Wayne Dyer, too. Oh my God, Wayne Dyer. I've been following ever since his very first book. My mother gave me his very first book, You're Erroneous. So I think I thought it was something sexual because erroneous. I thought it was something.
Yeah. Right. There's another one, Dennis Whaley, who he's not really as popular as Wayne Dyer, but I can remember getting his first. Oh, and Bob Proctor. That's another one. I mean, I can remember like the first programs I had from them many years ago. So I don't think if one speaks to you, I do that with books. If I go into a bookstore, I look for the one that speaks to me at that point in time. So there's so many really, really good ones. And if one speaks to you, absorb all the information and find all the things out that you can, because that's what will make the difference. They don't have to be as amazing as Tony Robbins. They may be right in your local neighborhood or at work, anywhere. But if one speaks to you, follow it. It really,
right.
I mean.
And same thing. Yeah, same thing for people that you hang around with, people you listen to. You can get into these little groups on Facebook where everybody's complaining about politics or what, those kind of things. They're out in that. In fact, I think somebody just the other day posted something about politics, and I said, is it political season again?
Yeah.
I mean, I was just being sarcastic, of course, but the last presidential election, I didn't participate. I did vote, but I didn't participate. And then any talk or I need to stay away from that because it's oh my
right.
God.
I participate from what I can do, which is voting and making a difference. Yeah. But as far as the conversations, especially on Facebook, you're not going to change anybody's mind. They've already had it made up, and they just want to. So I think it's important to stick with your again, be selective and stick with what you're responsible for and the amount that you can do. But just getting involved in conversations that are feel negative isn't really how I can express my highest power.
Right. Now, before we go, because we do have to go, and I'm going to ask you how people get a hold of you, but before I ask that, is how important is having gratitude in advance? Is it gratitude in advance towards things? How
huge.
Is that important to you?
You know what? You hit the nail on the head. There's two things about gratitude to me that people miss, because it's real easy to say, well, I'm grateful because I got a car to drive, or I got food on the table. Those are all easy. Or my kid brought home an A. Those are easy. It's easy to be grateful for the things that are like that.
Right.
What really takes work are two things. One, gratitude for the things that don't look so great. Gratitude for the things that happen that you didn't want to happen. For me, that's been a huge key, finding gratitude in those things. And the other piece is gratitude for what's to come, and the goodness and the richness and all the amazing things that are yet to come. That's huge. I would rather someone have gratitude for the things to come than the food on their plate. Not that they need both, but what's going to make an impact is being able to look at the future with gratitude.
Because that's basically setting your intentions.
And yes.
So feeling them before they even come in.
Yes, absolutely.
I call them my GIAs. I have a gratitude list. I wrote down everything. I write down a certain amount, like usually about 5 of those or so. I put next to them, I put down GIAs. Those are my gratitudes in advances.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And it's just like today, having this interview, I was grateful in advance just for the opportunity to talk with you and to share. Not knowing what would happen or how it would go, I still was grateful for the fact that I knew no matter what happened, it'd be perfect. So it's just little things like that that can completely change your mindset and open you up to totally different experiences in life.
It's funny, and the intuition works like that too. You start, I mean, because I was talking to Debbie the other day, and just with this whole connection with you and Judy, who's going to be our host tomorrow. Judy Martini's going to be on here tomorrow, and then Debbie said before she even knew about this, I knew she was going to be on your show, like upcoming real soon. It was like we don't even know who. I haven't even spoke with her, but yet Debbie said, yeah, she's going to be on your show. I was like, yeah, okay, where does all this stuff come from? Where does
right.
There's a source, there's a power, there's something out there that connects everything. When you
yes, and we can block it by worrying, and we can open it up by being grateful. And if we're going to do one, hey, go for the gratitude, because we have so much. No matter where we are, we have a lot to be grateful for.
Amen. Amen. Okay. How can people get a hold of you, Edie? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
The easiest way, I do have a website, but the easiest way really is Facebook, because I am very interactive on Facebook. So just go out to Edie Galley. It's Edie Galley. Go out and find me on Facebook, and we can connect. There's always an opportunity to meet new people and explore new things. And I love connecting with people.
There's so many. And what I'll do when this video comes up, like sometime this morning, a little bit later on this morning, might be early afternoon for you because you're on the East Coast. I'll put the link that people can go ahead. They can just click on it and they can find you like that.
Okay, wonderful. That's great. And my website is the same. They're welcome to go out there, but I spend a lot more time on Facebook and just getting to know and interacting with people, because it's like it's a community, and it's a growing, vibrant community.
At some point though, you will have too many. So you have too many people that you won't be able to accept. You might not be able to even get a message. So it's like, should they go to ediegalley.com or something as well? Or
yeah, and they can send a message there. And I also have a fan page as well on Facebook that they can go to. So I have both.
Okay.
And they're both, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you can get to your fan. You can get to your business page from your profile. You can click on it, right? You can go
yes, you can. Yes, you can get to it from there, and you can also just if you go, just search my name, you'll get both.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Edie, thank you so much for this. Just I knew this was going to be just a wonderful time being spent here with you, and it goes so darn fast.
It does, absolutely, yeah.
but thank you so much. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for being your friend and knowing you like I do, and this time we spent together today. So thank you so much. Thank everybody who came here today. Debbie, Judy, Chris, Len, your buddy Brad wrote something really nice for me to say about you, because I asked him and he said something really nice. I didn't get a chance really to say that, but thank you, Brad. Thank you in advance and thank you for your friendship as well. But so all the people who come here today and all the people who are going to listen to this on a replay, this will be available a little bit later on. But thank you again so much, Edie. So God bless you, and I'll be talking to you like real soon then.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm honored.
Already. Oh, and tomorrow, make sure you tune in for her friend Judy Martini.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till you hear her story. That's a story that Debbie had sent to me. She said, you got to check out this lady. You got to check her out. She's got an incredible story. And it was on a Periscope. It was like an hour-long story. She won't go on for an hour tomorrow, but you got to check out Judy Martini. She's pretty cool. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.